Good afternoon, Year 2. Welcome to Friday's maths lesson. Today, we're going to be looking at word problems. Now, we've done lots and lots and lots of work on adding and subtracting numbers. We know all the different methods to do them, whether that be by partitioning them into tens and ones, by drawing number lines, counting on or counting back, or by drawing the tens and ones, which is the method I recommend. Okay, I'm going to be applying those skills today to solve some one-step addition and subtraction word problems. So I'm going to talk you through how we go about solving them, how we go about doing that, because we're going to be using a bar model to help us today, and I'll talk you through that later. So to solve addition and subtraction word problems, first, we need to understand which vocabulary we need to look out for. So there's certain words and certain phrases that let us know whether we need to add or subtract. Because if we don't know whether we need to add or subtract, we're not going to be able to calculate the right answer, are we? So let's have a look. Addition. So when we add, we are putting two or more parts together to make a whole number. And we talked about that, didn't we? When we draw our tens and ones, when we add, we always draw both numbers and count them together because we're combining two parts to make one whole, aren't we? So this usually means we're looking for how many there are all together. We're getting two parts and seeing how many there is all together. There might be more than two parts, okay? So let's have a look at some of the vocabulary of addition. Add, plus, and, sum, total, more, and all together. So any of those words, there might be more than one in those problems, helps you to know what you need to do. So subtraction, when we subtract, we are taking away one or more parts from a whole number. So that's why when we subtract drawing our tens and ones, we only draw the whole number because the other part we're taking away, aren't we? We're not putting two parts together anymore. We're taking one part away. So you're going to be looking for how many are left. That's the difference, isn't it? Not how many there are all together, how many there are left after you've taken them away. So some of the vocabulary for subtraction you might look at is less, fewer, left, minus, lost. There might be lots of different words that mean lost. You might have dropped, gave away, went missing, hidden. All those words are the same as lost, aren't they? That means they've gone missing. They're not there anymore. Take away. And the difference, okay? Now we can solve the difference by adding, by counting on, but difference is essentially a subtraction problem. So once we know what vocabulary we're looking for, we can use this to find out exactly what calculations we need to do to solve our problem. For example, if I have this word problem, Jane has 20p and Lee has 35p, how much money do they have all together? What's the important vocabulary? What do you think is the important words in that sentence that help us to know what we need to do? That's right, it's and all together. So and tells us we've got two parts together, and all together tells us we're counting how many there are when we've put them together, doesn't it? There's also some other important vocabulary, the numbers 20 and 35. We need to know what our calculation is. Now, once we've got that information, we can use that to make a number sentence. So we know we're adding, we know our parts, so we can make our number sentence. So 20 add 35 equals. That's going to be the problem that we need to solve. So we've done the hard work, we've understood the question, we've decided what we need to do, and we've made a problem. Now we can use all those methods we know to calculate the answer. But I'm going to show you how to use a bar model today. So we can use a bar model to help us to solve this problem. Bar models are very similar to part-whole models and allow us to see a problem visually. So this is really good. This lets you know what you need to do. So for example, this question we've just had, our part-whole would look like this. We don't know the whole, but we know the parts are 20 and 35. If we did it as a bar model, it would look like this. 20 is one part, which is the smaller part, which is why the bar's slightly smaller. 35 is the bigger part. And then the bar at the top is how much it would be all together. So let's go back to our problem. Jane has 20p and Lee has 35p. How much money do they have altogether? So we know we've got to do 20 add 35. We're going to use the bar model. So 20 is one part, 35 is the next part. And then we can calculate the missing section of the bar model mentally or using one of the methods we've learned. Now, if you know how to add 20 and 35 in your head, you don't need to draw any calculations or anything to help you work that out. You know that. You do need to write the number sentence though. But if you don't, here's one of the methods I recommend you, tens and ones. So we need to make 20, 10, 20, and 35. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So we can count them all together. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Our missing part's 55, and we put that as the answer. Solved. Okay? Let's try another one. I had a packet of 58 sweets. I gave away 23 sweets. How many sweets do I have left? What's the important vocabulary there? Have a think. I had a packet of 58 sweets. I gave away 23 sweets. How many sweets do I have left? Gave away and left. So gave away is another word like we talked about before for lost, isn't it? And left means how many have you still got after you've taken away the other part. And what are our important numbers? That's right, 58 and 23. So am I adding or taking away? Well, gave away and left lets us know we're taking away, doesn't it? So we're doing 58, take away, 23 equals something. We use our bar model. So this time we haven't got two parts, have we? Because we know when we subtract, we start with a whole. The whole number of sweets is the full packet of 58 sweets, isn't it? So that's going to go in our whole part at the top of the bar model. And we know we've got one part that's being taken away, 23. And when we take that part away, we'll know that the missing part is what's left. It says 23. Now we just need to find that other missing part. So again, we can use calculations. If you know how to do it in your head, that's fine. So I'm going to start with 58, 50, and 8. I need to take away 23. I'm going to take away 1, 2, 3, 10, 20. Then count what's left. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. There's our problem solved. Our answer is going to be 35, isn't it? Okay. So now some other problems. Let's have a look at these, see if we can solve them. Tim baked 14 cakes and Tara baked 21 cakes. How many cakes did they bake altogether? There's the important information, the numbers, and the words and all together that lets us know that we are, that's right, we're adding. So 14 add 21 equals something. Use our bar model. We've got the two parts. We haven't got the whole, so they're going to go at the bottom, 14 and 21. Use whatever method you need to calculate them. Do it in your head if you need to. 14 add 21 is 35. So there's our answer. So Kelly has 35 teddies. She lost 14 of them. How many teddies does Kelly have now? So what's the important vocabulary? Lost, and the numbers 35 and 14. If we know she lost them, that means she's taken some away. She's lost 14. We're taking away 14 from our whole number 35. So 35, take away 14 equals something. Here's our bar model. So have we got a whole? We have. We've got 35. And we've got one part. What part's that? 14. So we're finding the missing part, aren't we? So calculate that however you need to do. Because there's a missing number of 21. So our answer is 21. Now see if you can solve these. I'll read them with you and you're going to see if you can solve them. Pause the video if you need to. Shane ate 38 grapes. Later that day, he ate 12 more grapes. How many did he eat altogether? So have a think, pause the video if you need to. Work it out, draw your bar models. Okay, let's go for the answer. What's going to be the answer? 50. We're adding, aren't we? All together gives us a clue that we're adding. More gives us a clue that we're adding. So 38 add 12 is 50. Next one. There were 35 apples on a tree. There were 17 more apples on another tree. How many apples were there all together? Pause the video to help you to solve it. Okay, let's go through the answer. So we've got 35 apples on a tree. We've got another 17. And how many are there all together? So more, another, all together tells us that we're adding. So 35 add 17. Let's see what that gives us. Oh, hang on. It's not letting us solve that. It's not showing us the answer, but the answer would be 52. Okay. Next one. Karen has 48 marbles. She sold 24 marbles. How many marbles does she have left now? Pause the video to work it out. So let's go through the answer. So she has 48 and she sold 24. And how many does she have left? So sold and left, let us know we're taking away. Our whole number is 48. Our part is 24. So we're doing 48, take away 24. Don't think it's going to let me click the answer because I didn't do it right. That's going to give us 24. And another one. I think this is our last one. Lucy collected 32 shells. She dropped, now that shouldn't be marbles, that should be shells. She dropped 15 shells. How many shells does she have left now? So again, think about what she needs to do. Pause the video so you can work that out. Okay, let's go for the answer. So she collected 32. She dropped, which means she lost 15 shells, even though it says marbles. How many does she have left now? So we know we're taking away. So we're going to do 32 take away 15. 32 take away 15 will give us 17. So well done if you got that right. So now have a go at the worksheet. Remember to write out the number sentence for each one. Fill in the bar model and then use a method to calculate the answer. Whether you draw a number line, you do your tens, drawing your tens and ones, your partition, it's entirely up to you. Just to remind you of that vocabulary for add, plus, and sum together, total more. Subtract is less, fewer, left, minus, lost, take away, difference. If you're struggling with those words, it might be worth pausing the video at this point, and then you can keep this on while you're doing the activity. So the activity you are doing today is going to be solving word problems using the bar models. Now, for some of them, the bar models are completed for you. You just need to finish them off. Some of them, you've got two empty bars. You need to draw the line on to show where the two parts separate, and then solve the problem. Don't forget to write your number sentence out. If you finish that, what you're going to do next is have a go at a two-step word problems. Okay, that's your extension for today. So let me just bring that up. And it's a challenge this. So these ones are basically very similar, but I've not put the bar model on. And the reason I've not put the bar model on these ones is because there is more than one step. So to solve these problems, you're going to have to do more than one thing. So for example, the first one, Katie builds 18 sandcastles in the morning and 15 in the afternoon. The tide washes away 7 of them. How many are left? So there's two parts to this, isn't there? First of all, she built 18 and 15. So we need to add those together. Then when we've calculated how many we've got together, the tide washes away 7 of them. So that's a takeaway, isn't it? So the answer to 18 and 15, then you'll take away 7, and that will give you how many sandcastles she has left. So there's 5 of those questions to have a go at. Good luck, year 2, and try your best. See you later.